You know, people, I've been thinking. I think woke is back on the menu. That mayor, that guy, that Mamba Dami, he's just so cute. I can't say no. I can't say no, people. He flew over to see me. He flew over in his nice little suit. I'm gonna give him a blank check. I don't know. I just like his smile. He reminds me of Bill. Holy shit, what the fuck is happening today? What is up, people? How are we doing? Check DMs. We'll yeah, I'm that's a crazy image. What the fuck? Hold on. 4chan, is this real? Diesel's laughing now. He won't be for long. Well, perhaps that's the case. Oh my god. Look, I know the Google Doc is bad. Okay, I know it's bad. I'm gonna get to that. I know it's bad. I know, Falchi. I have it. I have the weird little pic with their booty out. I was talking to myself before stream started, and I was you know that meme where it's like, I'd like a picture of your pussy out with your panties on, and one without them on, and one with your butt in it and showing whole. I don't know why. I was just saying that to myself like I was some kind of like schizophrenic loon. I was just talking about showing. I don't know. I don't know why I was doing that. That was just what I was doing. You know. But hey, guys, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. Can we say that it's been a crazy week, guys? I think it's been one of the crazier weeks. Yo sent you. Yeah, I know. I have some of it. Let's be real. I'm gonna start reading a Google Doc, and then I'm just gonna give up like 2 hours in and then go to bed. But yeah. I of course Diesel has to spend the first 5 minutes of the stream being a woke, but or whatever the fuck I am these days. But dude, at least finish with the Shay Discord leaks. Well, I'm hoping that it's ass. I'm hoping that the Doccy is ass. I also didn't even know that they were making Undertale YouTubers, man. I didn't know that they were making those. But yeah, I've been watching some of the local news. Very strange today. Very strange world that we're living in. I got recognized today while I was working my shift. You got to watch the video I sent you because it's wild. Okay, I will. I got recognized at the store today, chat. They were like, my brother was in the front and I was eating my chicken Caesar wrap in the back. And then they were like, you look familiar to my brother. And he was like, yeah. And then they looked at the coffee and they were like, isn't that the coffee of that YouTuber you watch? And then they were like, oh yeah, FPS Diesel. And then my brother was like, that's my brother.
And die. What will we do, argue with you?
Chat, invest in Diesel Industrial Complex. Get your dick tokens today. This totally isn't a rug pull for Diesel to get more images of thick goblins. You can trust me. This will not show up on the CoffeeZilla video in the future.
This is a chat donation and not financial advice that Q is giving there, okay? I don't know what kind of dick tokens hold no value, okay? Dick tokens are valueless currency. Q is investing in something he will not get out of. But, you know, he's welcome to. It is a free economy or a free world. One of those things. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I got recognized and like I have one of two experiences when people recognize me. They go ... I used to watch you when I was in high school, which probably just tells you about the median age of the drama viewer, though evidence suggests that my audience is between 25 to 34. And also, yeah. I mean, maybe they would have been teens when they started, but now you fucking people are geriatric just like me. But she was like, yeah, I watch you all the time, but you stopped uploading. And I'm like, well, I stream regularly now. And she's like, that's probably why I don't watch streamers. But then she was also like super nervous for like the entire hour-long conversation that we were having. And I felt so bad, dude. I always feel really bad. Like sometimes folk that recognize me are like, I used to watch you a long time ago. Now I don't. You're just a guy. And then there's the other kind of person that's like, I've thought about this moment for a really long time, and now I don't know what to say. So they just stare at me unblinkingly. And look, in case she does see this, you were really nice. I'm not like dogging on you, but like I could feel you staring. I also, okay, maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't staring, right? I feel like when I'm recognized, though, that I feel this, like, need to perform, right? Where it's like, You know, somebody's like, oh my God, that's the YouTuber I watch. I feel like I'm supposed to do like a little dance or something, like a little fucking Fortnite monkey or something, right? I don't know. This is like an experience that only exists for people who are like niche internet micro celebrities, but I feel like I gotta like represent the cartoon character that I am online. But how can we hear Diesel say, I liked CoffeeZilla until he investigated me? If he doesn't show up in a CoffeeZilla video. But yeah, that was about as exciting as my day got. I got some Avatar The Last Airbender booster packs in. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I don't really play Magic that much. I did open some packs of Magic today, and I pulled a $30 card. That was cool. There we go. Now he's calling us old, literally. Rena, we're Unk. Okay? Unk comes for all of us. I knew I was Unk the day that I didn't know what Tung Tung Sahur is. Okay? Because I didn't know what Tung Tung Sahur is, and I should have known, you know? Anyway, I'm going into this pretty much completely blind. Slow with the 5 gifties, very poggies. Also a dick holder, speaking of. I guess if we're talking about people holding stock in this, okay? If you're Unk, what the fuck am I? Grandpa. You asked, okay?
At Suicidal Slaw became a member. At Suicidal Slaw celebrates 29 months of membership.
Very poggies, very poggies. That's the voice. The voice is fixed now. The voice works. It's gonna do every voice now, isn't it? Or it's gonna do every person now. Wow, Slaw is a dick holder. Look, I should say that Little Guys Incorporated is getting a rebrand for the 2026 season. I was talking about it today. The work is being done as we speak. There will be beautiful, beautiful new things happening at Little Guys Incorporated. All of you investors in the corporation are going to be very happy. Okay. We won't be little guys anymore. No, you will. It's just, you know, we have the investors at Dick Holders. The Dick Holders are helping us reinvest into the Little Guys Incorporated, you know. This corporate structure is expanding, you know. You could say that we're inflating. Like inflation. I don't know what there's no punchline to the joke. The joke is just inflation. That's it. That's a punchline. Oh yeah, I do need to update the member names because it can't be labeled as a gas station. We've gone beyond that. You know, we're a military without borders, you know. We're going to use Sahelanthropus to basically hold the world hostage, you know. That's what's gonna happen. Isn't that just mercenaries? No, it's different. You see, the boss has this vision, and I'm big boss, okay? So we're going to misinterpret the vision, and then we're going to have like this long series of unfortunate events that ultimately culminate with 2 old guys on top of a submarine named after George Washington fighting to the death, and them stopping an AI from making people have war or something. Did you see Mom Dami and Trump making out in the Oval Office? Pie, hey, you missed my whole routine about that, Pie. Oh, the nano machines come later. Nano machines come later. That's when I get. So, like, at some point throughout all of this, I'm going to collect a blonde twink who's also a samurai, and also quintessentially American, but for some reason he's like super Japanese, and he's gonna be really good at breakdancing. Anyway, I'm gonna have that guy fight a vampire, but he's fighting a vampire inside of a VR simulation. Also, while we're at it, how come in Metal Gear Solid 2, if Raiden is fighting Vamp, but it's a fake Vamp because he's in a VR simulation? Sorry, spoiler alert for over a 20-year game. But if he's fighting Vamp inside a simulation, why is it like he has prior beef with Vamp in real life in Metal Gear Solid 4? Because they fight like they knew each other, but technically that should have been like the first time they met, if I recall correctly. I don't know. Diesel, my chat paid for a DNA test for me to take on stream. You should join me. Let your DNA be currency. I think I'm going to not do that specifically. That sounds like a really, really awful idea. And also, like, I don't want to give God's favorite racist the best ammunition physically possible. Sometimes you beef online so much it goes into IRL. I'm waiting for that to happen, honestly, not gonna lie. Anyway, I don't know who Shay is. I see that they are this tuber that does Undertale videos. I am a passive Undertale enjoyer. I will say as much. I'm not like active, but I do like it, and I do fuck with the vibe. Can I posit something to chat before we get into this? I think I'm like a closet Tumblr kid who's like going back and like rediscovering that he actually would have loved theater if he was like less afraid of being bullied for being like non-gender conforming as a youth or something. But like I clearly like that shit.
This is going to be my last dono this month. Christmas is hitting the finances hard.
You should be focusing on the family anyway. You know. It is going to be a tight Christmas, I'm not gonna lie. But and all this to say, I've been kind of like re-exploring like that time period on the internet. I haven't had time yet, but I am planning on like going through Homestuck and experiencing that. I did like passively like exist with Homestar Runner. So I think I'm gonna be like looking at that again too, especially because the Homestuck show and all that's happening, right? And I recently finished season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, and I've been thinking about that show, and I saw that they did like a promotional Broadway performance for some of the songs that for Hazbin Hotel, and I was thinking about why people hate it. And I think about it and I feel almost as if people don't really know how to articulate it. I think the second season is way better than the first, and a lot of the complaints people had is a lot like have been remedied. Like it's like they took that stuff and then improved upon it.
I got an ad for Love Honey. When will Adam and Eve give Boss his affiliate
That would be
coupon?
really based, actually.
Anyway, buy him on a potion coffee. They have hot chocolate again.
That is true, by the way. That is also true. Valentino is the cause of all my hatred. Okay, but like, can you like explain to me why? You couldn't pay me to listen to a cartoon musical? Yeah, but then is it just like you don't like musicals? Is that it? Like, I feel like a majority of people are just like, I don't like musicals then, right? Or maybe they don't give a musical a shake. Like, I enjoy musicals. I used to think I didn't enjoy musicals, but then I like stopped being such an annoying like asshole and just watched a fucking musical. But like maybe not this audience. Maybe this audience is too like normal to give a shit. The fans give me the ick. Yeah, but why? Like that's my follow up is why do you let other people being annoying dictate your own personal enjoyment of a thing? You know? Yeah, the chat's all fucked up today. I don't know what the fuck is going on lately. It's been weird. I didn't have donos working.
Season 2 of Hazbin became okay, but the monkey's paw curled and all the Helova boss issues happened.
Well, what's the hell of a boss issues in that case? I'm caught up on hell of a boss. I have season tickets to an outdoor theater that only does musical. That's based. That's based. It's Tumblr core, and I think people reflexively hate Tumblr core because they find it cringe and or mad their Tumblr aesthetic isn't mainstream like Viv's. Okay. Okay. Undertale is for kids. That's a... I don't think... Undertale is like a non... Like, it's like something that's like, yeah, that's rage bait. That's rage bait, Palgi. I'm sorry. That's rage bait. I'm not saying that it's only for grown adults, but that is such rage bait. E10 rating, Diesel. What? And the writing in Undertale is very snappy and funny and good. This is rage bait. I'm being one guide by Falsey right now. I'm gonna ignore him now. I'm ignoring him. Deltarune I also think is much more enjoyable than Undertale, but that's also, you know, that's also like my personal feelings on it. I think mechanically it's got a lot more going on. It's a lot more interesting. Yeah, Undertale is kid friendly, to be fair, like Earthbound. Yeah, it is kid friendly, but it doesn't mean that like you need to be a child to enjoy it, right? I think if I was 10 and I played Undertale, I would take something away from it. And then if I was my age and I played Undertale, I'd also take something away from it. But yeah, I think Deltarune is a much better like overall experience. I wish it was all finished. But that's what I feel. I still feel like I didn't get the explanation I really wanted for the Hazbin stuff. But then because I think about the arguments that I see online, and it's just like, I don't like it because they swear a lot. And it's like, okay, but like, that was the marketing of it, right? It was marketed as, this is a cartoon musical, but now the characters swear. And they're raunchy and fucked up and kind of like mean assholes. And that's like the pitch, right? So it's just like, if somebody marketed the pitch to you and you're like, I fucking hate that. It's like, why'd you put yourself in front of it that? Hazbin is just cringe and I can't articulate it. No, I don't think the second season has as many swears. I think they started to like, the characters who would swear are the ones that you would expect to swear, and the ones that don't swear avoid swearing. So much so that they're able to pull off a joke about a character who never swears swearing. The Hell of a Boss stuff has a lot to do with Alistair Blitzo's relationship and rewriting the relationship with the true... what's his face? Stolas and Blitzo, right? And rewriting the relationship with the true episode 1. Yeah, it's just, I kind of wish, I don't know, maybe something the death of the reviewer, because I don't think people can just really articulate why they don't, not even like, not only is it difficult for people to explain why they like a thing, it just always has been. I think the mark of a good reviewer is your ability to explain why you do like something. But I think more so over than that, there is like a constant degradation with people's inability to explain why they don't like something. And we just like, I understand like yada yada vibes, but like you can't yada yada vibes your way out of just everything. It's just like like it's the same thing where it's like, okay, I gotta not comment on media I haven't experienced yet. And I try really, really hard not to do that because you can't really explain or articulate your feelings on a piece of media as like from a critical perspective without actually experiencing it. And I don't want to contribute to that overwhelming like problem that we have on the internet where everybody takes their opinion from 10 reviewers and a sardonic red letter media half in the bag, you know? I've looked into it a bit. The camp of Viv hate ranges from wanting the pilot to be canon to Viv wrote a fucked up webcomic shit, so her art is heinous, and that she retweeted Shoe on Head once. But that's like if somebody got like all uppity about Smiling Friends and like the Oni Plays guys definitely saying the N-word, or them not like lambasting Shadman over a decade ago, or like anything else. It's like, okay, well, like, let's just go through everybody's closet and just rip out the skeletons at that rate. Like, why do we pick and choose? Like, I feel like the Smiling Friends guys don't get a quarter of the pushback that has come the other way when they come from the same, like, school of internet. You know what I mean? I think it ties into the death of media literacy. People can tell that they don't like something, but they don't think critically into it or themselves, and they can't particularly articulate why. But I don't know. It's like after a while, if you've like done something shit on the internet, it just seems like really pointless to like, you know, try and grind an axe against it. I don't really see the point in that because you're just not getting anything done, right? It's like, okay, somebody did something like bad a decade ago. It's like, brother, it's a decade ago. What are we gonna do? I like, assumedly they're not the same person they were a decade ago. I'm not the same person I was a decade ago. When I'm famous, nothing from my past will ever come to haunt me. Well, I mean, if you're shameless, right? Not liking something is okay. You don't even need a reason for disliking it. You could even be, I saw a review that made me think I won't like it. No need to launder someone else's opinions. Yeah, but the problem is that everybody is laundering somebody else's opinions. And then some fucking idiot goes on twitter.com and says, actually, not only is this my original opinion, everybody should listen to me and we should kill this guy for his opinion. And it's just like, brother, it's a TV show. Calm down. It's like it's just the inability for people to like there are things that I just don't like, right? There are things I don't like, and I can articulate why I don't like those things, but I don't go online, make my personality disliking that thing, and then proceed to like spend my free time exploring a thing I dislike for the sake of disliking it. You know, like I haven't enjoyed Marvel movies since the end of Endgame. I find them quite personally to be pretty terrible. I can articulate why. I feel like the writing has gone down the shitter for those. I think that they belabor the points in a lot of the media. A lot of the writing feels very samey to the point where it's almost like eating its own tail. But then I'm not like going on Twitter and being like, we should kill Kevin Feige and we should do it now. And it's like, what are we doing? Or like Star Wars, right? There was like a period in my life where I was being that annoying guy who would learn everything about Star Wars so I could complain about how bad it is. And it's like, I don't even really need to do that. I'm kind of like being not productive with my criticism by explaining why fucking the fucking Last Jedi was bad or something. Like, I can explain why it's bad and then also not make it my personality. Captain America and the Winter Soldier, was that a movie or a TV show? That was a TV show. I didn't watch that one. I did watch Captain America Brave New World, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It was a terrible, terrible movie. I remember what I was doing too. I was putting together one of my Leagues of Votan miniatures, and I wasn't even talking about Mauler. I mean, it did come to mind after I said The Last Jedi, but I was actually talking about myself. You know. No, the movie Captain America Winter Soldier, not Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay, well, Blue Yokai, we got to remember he's Captain America now, okay? Yeah, it's just like, it becomes like a trendy to hate a thing. I understand not liking Wes Anderson because it's so quirky, but it's just like the people that are like, you know, disliking it and being funny about it is one thing. But then I think a lot of people don't read the room and get that like somebody's in on the joke. And then they're just like, actually, Wes Anderson's movies are devoid of any creativity and blah, 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 blah. And they're just like saying something that's completely outrageous. But there's so much of that. And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know if it's reductive to say that what are we doing, you know, because I'm kind of yada-yadaing their bad criticism stuff, but it's just like, I guess what I'm saying is I'm kind of like, I'm almost, Diesel is looking at the vast emptiness that is the void of the internet, and he's asking for people to do something that they're clearly incapable of doing. I'm looking into the abyss and asking for it to write me an essay when I know that it's not going to write me an essay, okay? Or, I don't know, it's just like stuff where it's like somebody, the worst, I'm sorry, I'm on a rant right now. I'll get to this fucking Google Docu in a little bit. But there was, here's an example, chat, here's an example. There is a video essay about Arcane, okay? And about the relationship between Echo and Jinx, okay? It was a really good video essay that was exploring the concept of interracial relationships being portrayed through media and how it's kind of like being but you probably don't remember it like that, okay?
Brave New World was so weird. Who asked for a non-Hulk sequel to early 2000s Hulk?
There's that, yeah, that too, that also, there's so much I could. Brave New World was so bad, but to stay on my point, right? This whole thing about Echo and Jinx and being in a relationship, right? And the whole like video essay was exploring how like that specifically kind of unwound Echo as a character, and how even in the healthiest context, his relationship with Jinx kind of undid him in the same way that Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales' relationship was also kind of one of those things that helped to unravel Miles. Anyway, you probably don't remember this video essay the way I'm explaining it. You remember this video essay because the thumbnail of the video essay said, fucking Arcane Snow Buddy Mind Control, okay? And that's why you fucking remember it. And everybody on Twitter.com was like, oh, that's the Snow Buddy Mind Control video. I'm not watching that. I don't want to see some fucking guy hotep his way through Arcane, but it wasn't a guy hotepping his way through Arcane, okay? But because nobody fucking wants to develop an opinion, we just had thousands of people on Twitter.com. Dude, Twitter, the worst thing is Twitter has made us quite literally telepathic. And for some reason, people feel the need to say whatever was on their mind instantaneously to the internet. But all of those people saying that about this video essay were quite literally incorrect about the contents of the video essay. But no, the whole like clickbait of the video made complete sense, okay? Like the whole, like he explained like the concept and then began to portray it towards the topic of the video. So it wasn't even clickbait. But whatever. The point is that something the death of media literacy, right? While I'm at it, yeah, the Brave New World as like a as a movie is really bad. So an example is, I know when we write smart characters, it's hard to portray their smartness when they're the villain of the story, because they have to spend a lot of time getting undone by the hero. But you almost need to give space for the villain to succeed, for you to accurately sell their intellect to the audience. I think the Riddler in The Batman is a good example of a intellectual like character being played, because the Riddler is successful in many ways throughout the entire plot of the movie, but ultimately he is thwarted, right? But in Brave New World, from the moment the green brain guy, Hulk brain, when Hulk brain does his shit, it's like he gets owned every time. Like every single moment, fucking Captain America, ... the black one, and his Falcon, but now Falcon is another guy. The new Falcon and new Captain America thwart him at every chance they get. But like, I never once thought that either of them were like good detectives. Like they're good fighters, but I never thought that they were smart guys. I never thought they were smart guys. So their like ability to outsmart this guy, he just like, he goes, I had an 87% probability of being successful, and you somehow thwarted that. It's like, you really like, you're like trying to show that he's smart while not allowing enough time. It's very rough. By the way, speaking of Arcane, did you see the Jinx Echo shippers fighting the League of Legends Jinx shippers recently? I saw that there was something, but then I realized that I was employed, you know? That's why Moriarty in the second Holmes movie is so good. He does everything right, but gets outsmarted by Holmes in the end. Yeah, that's like kind of how it's more of like how you have to write a smart character. Oh, and then like the whole Red Hulk thing was terrible, dude. It was just like, please let Harrison Ford be old somewhere else, dude. Yeah, Brave New World is a really rough watch, I think. It's very annoying, especially the action scenes are fine, but the more you pay attention towards the towards the like writing devices of the movie, the more irritating it gets. There was like also other moments where it's like, oh, the US and Japanese relations are like really falling apart because of the location of the Titan that's there. And it's just like, the way that they're going about explaining this is like really outrageous, because if you spend any time knowing anything about anything, there's no reason for this to have even happened in the first place. Like all the geopolitics stuff associated with it, which you would hope are decent because of the whole spy thriller aspect of the Captain America franchise, right? you would hope that stuff at least is plausible. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's because movies are like partially an investment vehicle, it probably is, but like these movies never like say that the adversarial person is the place that would be the adversarial person, right? It's never like Russia or China or one of the places that would be the villain. It's always like some imaginary Afghanistan analog, or some country and us had a falling out and now they're on the brink of war. And it's just like, well, that's not really as like likely to happen. So it makes the writing and exploration of the whole story feel very farcical. It doesn't, I'd hate to say jump the shark because I understand as superheroes, but like, you know, there's a lot of questions that should be asked that are just never brought up. Like, all of the superheroes live in America. We should have a problem with that. Iron Man shouldn't be able to go to fucking Kazakhstan and kill a guy, right? Like, anyway, I'm sorry. I've literally complained for 42 minutes. I've literally just complained for 42 minutes. We need a Bosnian superhero. Okay, actually, I second that. They won't use China because it's the second biggest market for movies. I know that's why, right? But it's like when you write something from like an American perspective and it's like steeped in espionage and political thriller, just the lack of cojones to stick behind something like that is just comical. Oh hell yeah! I've arrived to the diesel complaints hours. What's the tea? What's another part of that movie that really bothers me? Those are probably the main ones. Oh, also the fact that I need to have like all this, and this is just, I could say this for most of the Marvel stuff that's existing right now, is all the outside knowledge I need to have in order to get on board with it. I don't really feel like I need to have watched Superman to enjoy Peacemaker, though I do feel like the second season of Peacemaker kind of is a little heavy in the gut. I think a lot of the writing isn't super astounding around the middle, but they kind of pull it back once they are like, oh, Peacemaker's in the Nazi universe, and I'm like, okay, well, that's goofy. I'm in again. You've pulled me back in. Yeah, it's like it could work. It's happened. It's at least fun and exciting. I don't know if the stuff with the DC EU is gonna keep up, but right now I'm like, okay, I don't need to watch everything, but right now I'm enjoying what's being made, so I'm good. Yeah. Let's be honest, the US Japan stuff was only there to appease the people complaining about the Celestial Corpse after that got retconned into always existing by the Eternals. Yeah, but you know what's funny is that nobody fucking saw the Eternals. I think part of the reason Marvel is so bad now is that they lack the world building that took 11 years to plot out and just limped across that finish line. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that, like, the guy, Jonathan Majors, is like a sex pest, and they had to basically upend their entire, like, multi-year long plot line because Jonathan Majors is, like, sex criminal guy. I don't remember what he did, but I just know that was a thing, you know? Anyway. Fuck. All right, I think I got it out of my system. I'm calm. I needed to talk about that because I was thinking really deeply. I know. It sounds like I'm a fucking crazy person. Diesel was really thinking deeply about the critical analysis of Hazbin Hotel. Yes, that's what Diesel was doing in his mind palace. Okay, I was in my autistic mind palace asking the question: if person hasn't watched a musical or doesn't like a musical, why complain about the musical being the thing they don't like? Are we stalling? I mean, partly, but then also like yes, no, all that. I don't know. Your speech didn't work. Hazbin is still cringe. Well, that's fine. Look, man, I'm not looking towards Pi to have a reason. Okay, you're like exempt from having a reason. But then like consequently, I could always respond to that with, aren't you the person who went to the hospital because of all the carrots you ate? It's just I'm just seeking for people to articulate thoughts to me, you know? It's like when somebody like gets mad at you, but they can't, like, they don't explain why, and then they just leave, right? And then you're just kind of stuck there going, what the fuck just happened? It's just like one of those where it's like somebody like says something completely unarticulated and then walks away, and then you just have to like retroactively figure out what it meant. The hospital was playing the Hallmark Channel and I had a blast. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So Shay is a Undertale tuber. I might as well look at one of their videos before I read the Google Docy, just to get those vibes. Dude, Q's actually gonna be holding the bag for all of
numbers
this.
up.
I don't hate Hazbin. I just wish they had more body types. A better usage of ideas, and stop trying to make Valentino a character to like and market. I don't really feel like they're trying to make Valentino a character to like and market based on what they've done in season 2. Valentino is a villain. He's one of the supporting villains to the main antagonist. That's what he is. That's just it. And also his whole thing is that he's like a whore. This gross merch, bro. That has like, what about the character though? That's what I'm talking about. I don't give a shit about the merch. But I do agree that the body types, there's a lot of male twinks. Like literally it's nothing but male twinks. Not that I got a problem with that. But there is a lot. Literally every single male character that we see with the human body is a twink. Like literally is that. Like it's crazy, honestly. And that I agree with. That I think is a fair criticism to levy. Better usage of ideas is just kind of vague. No bears in hell. Yeah, they all go to heaven. The storyboarders did make him shippable with others. I think a lot of the cast is shippable with different characters. You know, I definitely do see that. Yeah, I see it. I see the mise en scène there. Okay, I know. I understand the Hitchcockian references that show me that they want to pair up Nifty with Baxter. And I'm just like, I don't really think Nifty needed that. I'm glad that you got a new science guy there to fill out the rest of the cast, but I see what you're doing. And I mean, I'm kind of ambivalent towards it, but I don't think she really needed it. But also Nifty needs something to do in the plot, but maybe it shouldn't have been that. I do see that there. I do see that I see what you're doing. Stop pairing off everybody. But like Angel Dust and Husk, like that pairing seems fine. Yeah, short guy x short girl. Yeah. And then the only reason people ship Vox and Alistair is because they're both because they're both villains, and they both have the twink body type. They're both like peak Tumblr sexy man distilled into like fucking energy juice or something. Yeah, but the bug jazz isn't gonna carry the whole plot. Vox hella wants Alistair, though. I think he wants Alistair to recognize him as a person. I don't know if I'd say... Maybe there was like a friends to enemies thing, but I don't think that we're gonna like double back on this and all of a sudden they're gonna become lovers. It's not gonna happen, all right? It's never gonna happen, right? I'm not saying what ships could exist. I'm saying what romances do exist in the show, right? That's the difference. I didn't realize you actually watched the show. Yeah, because I don't want to critique something and not have seen it. Alistair's not allowed to get TV back. That's crazy. I know, I have seen the flashback, but I don't think, right? So like having like there might have been something, but then it never was. And then now their relationship as it is stands now is that they're rivals. I don't think they're gonna... I mean, maybe I'll be wrong. I might be eating these words. And that somebody's gonna be really self-indulgent. And then all of a sudden, everybody's gonna get paired off with somebody. But yeah, I don't necessarily like that Nifty is being paired off with Baxter. I don't think that needed to happen, really. Bro blushes and fumbles and gay. Yeah, but then also it's just like you can't have two male characters in a scene without people doing that anyway these days. I like my hate to be informed. I think that stuff with Nifty is probably my biggest complaint. Also, I feel like I do kind of wish that the other Vs got a little bit more time to be shown off as characters. I don't think they're going to be as relevant in the next season. But I would have liked to see more of like why Velvet is who she is. Because we know why Valentino is how he is. But Velvet is constantly like a frequent fixture, and she's gotten nowhere near the same amount of attention as the other two, which is weird. Angels and Hell of a Boss were better than Hazbin. Okay, this guy is actually... What are you smoking today, Falchi? Yeah, it was completely one-sided. Everything Alistair did was just to manipulate him, right? So it's just like, even if Vox had like a TV man crush on the radio guy, okay, he was never gonna get that because Alistair was playing him constantly. Design wise. No, it's a drama stream for the person asking me in my DMs. I just haven't gotten to it. But yeah, it's like it's completely one-sided, really, if anything. But Alistair's just manipulating him. Yeah, I don't know. Charlie she spent a lot of the season not doing anything too, which is also really kind of like not exciting. It was getting a little frustrating how much she just keeps falling apart. And I know she's like, her whole thing is that she's like quiet, like kind of quirky, but it's just like I kind of was hoping that after the events of last season, she would kind of pull herself up and like do something. When are we gonna get to the fireworks factory? Oh my god. Okay. Let me just see who this person is. Undertale, but every monster is randomized, okay? Fine. So let's see who this person is. Let's see why they got famous, and then we'll take a gander.
In Undertale, what would happen if you encountered a late-game enemy in the first area of the game?
Is this pirate software?
Today's video,
Wait, no, I want to talk about Hazbin Hotel. Listen, I want to talk about the things I enjoy, but all these other glub shittos are here for something else.
Blade Runner, but for the wrong reasons. Like he watches it and thinks it'd thrive here. Rip to the meme different.
Look, I would love to just stream about the things that I want to talk about, but unfortunately, I am tied with a fucking ball and chain around my ankle, all right, to slave away in the drama mines until I get old.
Of the genocide run of Undertale that
Am I a glub shitto? I mean, you know, you're all like little guys in my eyes, you know.
Enemy encounters throughout the game. From frog
Side of rice.
Oh, you guys unlocked
broccoli.
the thing finally, okay? I had to lower the goal. Granted, you guys would have gotten it anyway. This is gonna end up changing soon too already, but we do have a BRB screen now, chat. We have one. There we go. Took long enough, right? Yeah, shout out to Cat for doing this. It is very nice, super cool. Very PogChamp. You finally done it, chat. You finally done it. It only took a week. You need to pivot to media reviews. You know what? I think that would be a really good idea, because what we need is another guy who talks sarcastically about movies he doesn't like. I think that would be a really good idea. I'm not dogging on you. I'm just saying that's what it would end up being. Don't inhale the spider. Spider wishes.
Or to sands and ruins. Anything is possible, so you're just gonna have to watch to find out. Before we begin the video,
we need another man with an opinion about things he doesn't know anything about. Why is it always grooming? This is like... So, you know how this Godwin's law? I've self-diagnosed myself as the guy who came up with Diesel's law. I don't think you can self-proclaim a law or something, but something... I don't remember what I said.
a majority of my viewers aren't subscribed to the channel. We're super close to 30,000.
Okay, so this is just like... Now, I do believe they transitioned, so I don't want to misgender the alleged pedophile.
Everybody has something in their life that they always...
What's Diesel's law again? The longer a drama goes on, the more likely it is that someone or something will be accused of being a pedophile or compared to being one.
So, a few weeks ago, a Steam server issue...
They non-binaried. Dude, they divided by 0? That's crazy.
...accidentally enabled certain download depots to be accessed by anyone for just a few brief hours. In that time, a beta version of Undertale was found, with the build dated from September 8th, 2015. Just one...
Okay, so this is who they are. I gotta be honest, this content isn't for me. I do like a good Undertale theory video, but I'm not particularly, like, fiending for somebody playing Undertale. I just don't, like, engage with it. I was also thinking, you know how we're getting a Homestuck TV show? How did we not get an Undertale TV show? How did we get Homestuck before Undertale? I'm just saying, all right? I know that people dressed up as Sans for Halloween, okay? All right. I don't have a tie, but I am wearing a turtleneck. We, a collective group of Shay's victims and former friends, accuse Shay of actions, including but not limited to sexual assault, sexual harassment, grooming, orbiting fans until they're of legal age, sexual coercion, and abuse. We are releasing this document because we feel that Shay's actions pose a present and extreme safety risk to the community, such that people need to be aware and protect themselves. In this document, you'll find a collection of our stories. Shay themselves has already admitted to the actions detailed in the testimonies from Anonymous 1, Azarath, Anonymous 3, and Willie J. Willie, the victims themselves in private. The document contains testimonies of blah, blah, blah. We are not a professional PR firm. Well, I wasn't expecting that. That is actually very funny. This is a sub 500,000 sub YouTuber. We ask that you do not attempt to contact or harass anyone mentioned in this document regarding its contents, and that you do not attempt to identify or publish information that reflects the identities of the victims that have chosen to remain anonymous. Do not treat this document as an exhaustive list of those affected. At a minimum, we can confirm there are more victims that have spoken to us, but have chosen not to tell their story. At this time, please respect their privacy until they wish to share, and show them the grace and kindness when they do so. Alright, so there's a lot of shit here. I'm just gonna... okay. Let's see. Additional context needed to understand the contents of this document can be found below. People who have chosen to publish their testimonies anonymously had an arbitrary names, colors, and numbers assigned. There are constants throughout all the text and screenshots. All censors in black are censored the additional parties who are not relevant to the main testimony. This Badak is tedious as hell. Both Chud and Gamma went insane trying to finish it. Look, it is a fool's errand to read anything over 30 pages in a single stream. I have tempered your expectations enough to tell you that I will not finish this document before the end of the evening, and I am simply in it for the shits and giggles, not in it for the prosecutorial process of the situation. It is important to note that such behavior described in this document has been brought to Shay's attention repeatedly, as early as 2021, as late as a week ago. This document was created after multiple attempts to get them to change without a result. The information gathered was collected in pieces from multiple people who all initially believed these were isolated incidents. Isolated incidents. It is only when those affected reached out to one another that the true scope was realized. Dude, it's the WD Gaster files, dude. I can't believe we released the Gaster files before the Epstein files. If only I had betted on this on Kalashi, guys. Though this will be obviously based on the content shared here, Shay has had no part in the writing of this document and has not seen a vast majority of its content prior to it being shared with the general public. What the fuck is a Kalashi? So it's spelled with a K, and it's like Polymarket, where like idiots can gamble on whether or not Mom Dami and Trump would kiss in the White House and stuff like that. Trigger warning. This document contains descriptions of sexual assault. I am Star Smiley. And those who don't know, I've been Shay's partner for the last 5 to 6 years. I've been living with him since August of 2025, and within the last week, have moved back with my parents. This is quite the stab, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to outline the experiences I had during this relationship, starting with the most serious offense. Most of these interactions happened in real life when it was just the two of us. Well, I guess it's your word against mine, or their word against yours, so whatever. There is an important part of this relationship you need to understand going into all this. I identify as asexual, and I'm not interested in doing anything sexual with anyone. Shay was aware of this and generally respected that throughout the relationship. I understood that they needed a sexual outlet and agreed that they could have sexual contact with others. Okay. I did not request that they tell me who it was with, or when it happened, but I will go into how it was handled poorly. I feel like if you're gonna open up a relationship, there needs to be some level of communication about the other people that you're sleeping with in some regard, you know. You can't just go like, you can't just like stick your fingers in your ear and go, la 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 la, I don't want to hear about the other people you have sex with, but I'm not somebody who will have sex with you, but la 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 la. At the beginning of November of 2025, Shay and I were lounging on our bed in the main bedroom. We started cuddling, and suddenly they laid a hand on my crotch and started rubbing it without asking. This has never happened before, and I froze. They did it for a minute or so before saying, "So you really don't feel anything, huh? That's crazy," before laughing and pulling away. I did not give consent for them to do this, which makes it sexual assault. I think the jury is going to be a little bit more conflicted on that one, but okay. I don't know. I'm also asexual. Okay, well, the verbiage in that is very comedic. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gay. I'm new in town. I am black. I am gay. I'm also asexual, and I felt disrespected in my identity. That they felt they had to test whether I was asexual or not. As I mentioned previously, I agreed they could have sexual contact with others and did not specify that they had to tell me when it happened or who it was with. It doesn't even sound... Okay, look, I'm sorry this happened to you, but it really sounds like the both of you shouldn't have been in a relationship. If this person is like, I am seeking sexual contact, and you're like, I will not provide any, and this relationship will exist sans all of that, you know? It just sounds like a completely impassable situation that the relationship was in even prior to that. I agree that they could have sexual contact with others and did not specify that they had to tell me when it happened or who it was with. I feel like for medical safety, maybe you might want to have a little knowledge. I did not expect them to be having this behavior with nearly 20 people near constantly throughout my entire relationship. Well, I'm sorry. You kind of opened that up, dude. Like, alleged assault aside, it sounds like assuming, look, I know that not all 20 people in this equation are of legal age, given what I've heard, but also, like, you said they could, and then you didn't specify anything else. So, like, is it not unreasonable for, I mean, 20 people is way too many, but like I don't know, man. When you open up that seltzer, you can't put the carbonation back in it, you know? And furthermore, they have reassured others that they did, in fact, ask for my permission for those specific encounters to occur, which they did not. They were going off the original agreement, which was years old at this point. Wait, but like, if you didn't change the okay, well... As the meme goes, which one of you proposed opening the relationship, and which one cries every night? Yeah, it's like, furthermore, they have reassured others that they did in fact ask for my permission for those specific encounters to happen. Well, you did give them permission. And so when they said they gave me permission, you had given them permission and said, I don't want to know about it, which they did not. They were going off the original agreement, which was years old at this point. But you didn't renegotiate the agreement and deliberately seem to have avoided having the discussion. These people were led to believe that Shay was telling me about this when it did happen. And they have said they would not have participated if they knew I didn't know. But this is like a really big catch-22. Because the agreement that you made with Shay was that they can't tell you and you don't want to know about the specifics. Diesel, I think it was because Shay was spawn camping and they don't want to get implicated. Not because Shay was a sexual deviant. Well, maybe they shouldn't write this document like it's that they're a sexual deviant and not that they were spawn camping the minors at the little kitty convention. Okay? Because it's written like the problem is that they fucked, not that they groomed. They would also intentionally invite people over while I was away from the house for the purpose of acting sexually with them. Again, and not telling me what happened while I was away. Okay. That's exactly what your agreement entailed. Granted, this would give the partner, like, the partner could be like, I didn't know about the grooming, right? By saying it like this. But then also, like, when you bury the lead of the grooming, it makes it sound like this is the main indictment. You know what I mean? I want to note that when I left the house with Shay to go back to my parents, I did so in secret. Well, it's nice to know that there's a dialogue in this relationship. I was afraid they would try to prevent me from leaving. Can we get some more evidence as to why that would be the case? I hope they do. They later called my mom and confirmed that they would have tried to stop me from leaving if they knew. The last bit of this section is that we actually broke up briefly in April of 2021. They were flirting with two of my friends, and as good friends, they came to me and told me. Shay promptly broke up with me and got with another person, which lasted for a few months, before coming back and saying they wanted to try a relationship again. That should have been my first red flag. How old are these people? How old is everyone? The rest of this document is relatively minor in comparison to these instances, but I believe it was important to share to highlight the entirety of our relationship. For our financial situation, they made about $250K a year. Damn, fucking a lot of money to be made in Undertale. While I made about 40K. Okay. I mean, you know, you got a breadwinner there, but like 40K is respectable, you know? Despite this, they would routinely ask me to foot the bill for our Games Done quick trips, which is about $1,500 for the hotel room for the week. Only once or twice did they ever split the bill with me for the past 5 years. I don't want to nickel and dime all of this. Shay was like 25 at the time. Okay. So assumedly the partner is around. The same age as Shay. Star Smiley is around Shay's age. I don't know, man. I mean, like, it really, the way that you financially divvy up responsibility in a relationship depends, right? If you, like, house the person and pay the bills and the utilities and everything about everything, one could argue that you cover such a large swath of the things that asking them to cover the vacation is a reasonable ask. But then in the same respect, like, I don't know the specifics. I don't have the Excel spreadsheet of the relationship here. I don't know how much this person is spending versus their partner and all of that. Motherfuckers left a screenshot and evidence at the appendix at the end, like they're George Martin or something. Another important aspect of their relationship is that I am severely depressed and struggle with suicidal thoughts. Is this person... Did they get hit in the head? What the fuck? Who knew that you could write such unemployable novel? Like, I didn't know there was a genre of fiction, chat, that was called unemployed fiction, okay? There we go. I made a joke out of it. I would often vent on my alt account about these thoughts. This sounds like a really... Why an alt account? Get a diary. Shay usually never reached out to me regarding these instances privately. I don't It just sounds like you need to get your fucking shit together, dude. I don't know. Like, why Shay gotta be, why does Shay gotta be the Christ on the cross in this situation? They rarely commented on these posts. I do not know if they did just not see me, see them, or they were actively avoiding addressing them. If your partner is like, I'm gonna kill myself every day of the week, maybe at some point you just kind of throw your hands up and go, well, if they do it, they do it. You may ask why I didn't vent to Shay directly, but it's part of my depression. I struggled with reaching out to people one-on-one. Okay, you struggle to reach out to people, but you do not struggle with sharing it with a large group of individuals on an alt account. Like, it's like you're saying, I'm gonna kill myself. And then you want other people to go, no, don't kill yourself. But then you do that like 40 times, and also you hold it over somebody else's head. And you, like, what do you expect? Do you expect a response at that point? I struggled with reaching out to people one-on-one about these issues, not wanting to feel like a burden. The lack of care shown did not help. It's like you're right. Like you're like, you know, you're ultimately the arbiter of your own destiny in a lot of respects, but it's like if you develop like you're doing it to yourself. You know, we suffer more in our minds than we often do in reality. It sounds like you might have had a support network there, but then you chose to not interact with that support network so you could wallow in your own self-pity. During games done quick, we would rarely see each other, except when we slept. We would occasionally hang out or have our meals together, but it wasn't common. So, assumedly, they were both working during games done quick. They were both doing something. Something noteworthy is that while we were hanging out alone, they would often suddenly go, I'm going to hang out with X, see you later, without inviting me. I'd understand if I didn't know this person, but this was usually with mutual friend groups, who'd ask an hour later if I can join them. There were times I'd go to sleep not knowing where they were or who they were with. Listen, you developed this notion in this relationship of you not needing to know where they are. But now, post hoc, you're saying that you wanted to know where they were at all times. It's like, again, you unbottled the genie. Why do you want to put the genie back in the bottle? 2, I mean, motherfucker, just invite yourself. Just go. You're an adult. If you're like, your partner's like, I'm going to see our mutual friend, and you're like, ooh, I want to see mutual friend. Don't just go, oh, you're going to see mutual friend without me. Go together. If people know you're a couple, go. As far as our living situation, when issues arose almost immediately, I quickly became the person to do everything around the house. Laundry, grocery shopping, taking care of the garbage, dishwashing, and general cleaning. Well, the other person was the breadwinner, but, you know, so forgive me for being very old school about that. The only thing they did themselves was vacuuming, which was only once during the entire 2.5 months I was there. God damn, bro. We fucking nickeling and diming on this stuff. During the times we ate together, we usually did not talk. They were usually busy on their phone. Okay, real talk, I do get annoyed when people take out their phone at the table. Like, if I'm at a restaurant with somebody that I'm seeing, this is like the biggest fucking pet peeve. Keep your phone in your bag, all right? Like, at the very least, we're going to sit there in a comfortable, companionable silence, all right? There's something to be said about a beautiful, companionable silence, okay? We don't need to talk, but I don't want to see you on your phone. Okay, that's my stipulation. That's my line in the sand. I chalked it up to them being an extremely busy person. They're a YouTuber. They were never busy. But considering how often they were interacting sexually with people, the chances are higher that they were doing that instead. Yeah, but like, you made the bed, lay in it. Having your phone out on a date is just rude. Yeah, phone out on a date, or if it's like we cook a meal and then we're sharing a meal in our apartment and we're enjoying each other's company, keep your phone in your like bag or wherever you keep your phone when you're at home, okay? Well, other people were laying in the bed, to be fair. That's so true. During the time, the blah, 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 they did not talk. They were probably fucking and sucking. I should note that they seem to have a severe social media addiction. Not to be the doctor here, but I think I gotta get Fauci on this because I think you are too. They were constantly on their phone or computer. Okay, well, one, they're a YouTuber, but two, so are you. I remember a few instances of them asking about eating, and then they'd stay glued to their phone for 2 hours. Okay. I'd remind them a few times about getting food just to go, yeah, 1 sec, and another half hour of scroll. This is such a minor indictment to include here. After we ate, they generally went to their office, even if they were not streaming that day until 2 a.m. No, really? Dude, the I'm 12 theory continues to remain consistent. They would come to bed and generally immediately get on their laptop to continue scrolling before going to sleep. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fucked up. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's like literally 0 things happening in this relationship other than you guys sharing a space together, man. I don't even know what part of this is a relationship, you know? It's very... Also, taking your laptop to bed is like mental illness behavior, I will admit. It's very rare that we actually interacted with each other throughout the day. Another minor thing was, I want to note, was that they left trash lying around, dude. I think this person is just describing ADHD. I think all of this is just ADHD. I feel like that's all you're doing. I want to note that they left the trash lying around. There would be up to 10 empty cans of soda sitting on the counter, along with boxes of empty soda containers. I cleaned it up myself since it bothered me. Dude, I got like an empty bottle of kombucha over here, and I got back warmers for my back that I blew out. I see that they're gonna talk about the cars that they drive in a second, and I'm gonna have a fucking field day about it. The glasses would be they would also leave glasses and silverware around despite us having a dishwasher. The glasses would be covering the counter and sink. When I would go away and come back after a few days, they were usually silverware with crushed food sitting in the sink. I had to be the one to put it in the dishwasher, despite actually never using one before. I originally cleaned them by hand before learning how to use it. I didn't. Okay, real talk. I never had a dishwasher growing up. I didn't use the dishwasher until I was 20 years old. It took me like 5 fucking seconds to figure out how to use a dishwasher. Yeah, I was taking a bunch of back shots, and then he plowed me down too hard. And like when he coomed in my butthole, it just like blew my lumbar out, you know? The last thing I wanted to mention is related to financial decisions. I have a 2011 Sentra, and they have a 3-year-old Camaro. Yeah, Vox Populi was giving me back shots. Vox Populi was giving me back shots in the Hazbin Hotel, dude. Okay, so now they're mad that they're 6-figure clip farming again, Diesel. Oh, you know it, Axis. I have a 2011 Sentra. They had a 3-year-old Camaro. Yeah, well, they're making 6 figures, man. I don't know what to tell you. Despite this, they traded into Camaro and then spent $100K on a Corvette. I mean, I don't think it was a very wise financial decision. Yeah, I don't think it was a wise financial decision, but they got the bread to be ponying it up, you know? I recently got into an accident and busted the front of my car. Jesus Christ. They stated that they wanted to wait on getting me a new car since they just bought their Corvette. What? What was it? Your partner was supposed to buy you a car? Is that the argument here? Is that they were supposed to buy you a car? They're like, oh, they bought a new car for themselves and not me. When I had gotten in an accident and I had ruined my car. Why did they buy a car for themselves? On top of that, it appears that they were regularly helping our friends out financially, such as flying them to Games Done Quick, helping them with groceries, etc. While I'm glad they did, it's notable that they did not usually offer to help me in any way with my finances, especially in the case of the car, which had obvious damage and was potentially a danger to drive. I'm sorry. This is beyond me as a person, chat, okay? Because I would never, ever, 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 ever ask. I could be broke as hell. I am. But, like, I could never ask for a handout. I don't give a fuck. If I have a rich partner, I'd never ask them for money. Never. This is so outrageous to me. I could never even begin to question the idea of, like, oh, I need them to cover my expense that I made like that. It shows a consistent pattern of behavior that routinely disrespects and invalidates me. Well, half of that is like your fault, and then the other half is like not really a big deal, and also you didn't ever seem to advocate for yourself. Like, if your partner is frustrating you at home and they're doing something that's annoying, you need to talk to them and say, this is bothering me. But it sounds like every time something came up, you sucked it in and didn't do anything about it. You were a wet napkin and just let them do whatever they want. So they didn't even know that the thing that you were doing was bad. I thought some of this behavior as endearing through rose-tinted glasses. But putting all of this together and hearing about the experiences of my friends, I can no longer turn a blind eye to the fact they did not seem to care about me in the way that I did them. Diesel, I could use a small loan. Are we just going to cyclically give each other the dodos back and forth? You know how much GDP we're going to generate? Dude, we might be able to compete with ChatGPT. I want to note that I do not blame any of my friends for participating in what was essentially them cheating on me. All right, buddy, pal. You opened the genie. Why are you complaining about the wishes? All right? You did this. Why are you complaining about it? 1. 2, you're saying that your friends cheated on you with your partner. Why do you... I don't care. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, why? They had no idea that I didn't know what was going on, assuming or being reassured that I knew and approved of. I will admit that because of this and the previous breakup, I had a strong fear that they would leave me. I love them dearly. It sounds like you fucking hated them, actually, and you were constantly balding about it, but didn't say anything. I did not know what I would do if they left me. I live with them, after all. I assumed a lot of it was based on me being insecure, rather than problems they were causing, and forcing me to accept that these aspects and behaviors from them. That is why I did not say anything or stand up for myself, although I really should have. Ugh. All of this is very complicated for me. As I'm writing this, I'm still not sure how this situation is fully set for me. Someone I'd thought to spend the rest of my life with suddenly revealed to do terrible things to the people I love. Yeah, so much codependency. I do hope Shay is able to step back from everything and improve their behaviors and how they view the people around them. A part of me still loves them. I'm sorry, but, like, you can't write a document that's gonna, like, this is... Look, man... This is like, this document is like, they should die now. That's it. That's just what the document is, okay? However, there are clear patterns of behavior that are unacceptable with how they treated people. I hope that they can get better, but I hope that they do it away from me and my friends for everyone's safety. No, the time zones are Greenwich Mean Time because I put this doc together while on vacation in England. This is about 6 hours ahead of my usual time zone. This was rushed out because of how stressful it was trying to put this together. All while the public Twitter Blue Sky Discord was speculating on and harassing other victims in the interest of chasing drama, instead of respecting our safety and well-being. Having fun, Diesel? I mean, you know, it's okay. I've read better. I've read better ones, but I've read worse. I'm Aspirin. I was a friend of Shay's for a few years, starting in 2022. We started talking in Twitter DMs, blah, blah, blah. I was born in late November. I can't believe this story is starting when I was born. So it was a few months to the point of being 17. At the time, I was significantly less experienced with dealing with my anxiety and struggled with my mental health. At the same time, Shay was one of the people that I would talk to about these things. At this time, they were very willing to converse and support me, talking me through the breakdown on multiple different occasions. At time, I would give compliments, calling them cute primarily, but things in that vein. They reciprocated these thoughts in a way that was, in hindsight, not appropriate given my age. 17 and theirs 22, 23. Fun fact, you're cute. Takes one to know one. Shot. No, I don't think I will. You bitch. Hope you're having a good night. I'm also a very complimenty person, so prepare yourself. Yeah. The real kicker of this conversation is when I was talking about worrying about not passing while wearing a dress. And they took what was meant to be a comment about how I was insecure about my shoulders to be about my gawk. Oh, my back hurts so much. Oh, shit. I need to turn off my heat. My gawk. Holy fuck. I understand why Chud thought this was so fucking funny, dude. I mean, I know he didn't finish it, but fuck, that was funny. I'll be right back. I refilled my water. And I'm ready. All right, we're back in it. We're back in it. I also turned off my heat because I'm kind of sweaty. Oh boy. About my shoulders to be about my gawk. Entirely unprompted. Lol, yeah, I like skirts. Dresses kind of scare me. I unfortunately can't really pass in a dress. I mean, I think you pass just fine enough without anything special. Unfortunately, dresses kind of expose the more giveaway traits. Kind of sounds like they're like... It does kind of sound like they're leading there, okay? Diesel, this is such a heavy topic. Should we have fruits on stream? Do you really feel like this is a heavy topic? I don't. I've lost the ability to give it. Most of these Google Docies are so like completely incomprehensible. I can't really like muster up the shit to give. You know what I mean? Not to say that it's not serious, but like I'm just of the mindset that it's reached a point that's just not serious. There'll be some Minecraft in the corner for all you guys that can't focus. That's right. ADHD friendly streamer. What? People can't appreciate some gawk? Laugh, little tee-hee emoji. That wasn't what I meant, but that too, I guess. What else was that supposed to be referring to? I was thinking about my shoulders, lol.
Haven't seen a straight man get one shot by gawk like that in a hot minute.
I mean, we've seen what gawk has done to Chud, you know? It could happen to anybody at any time. Later in the same conversation, they commented on my NFTs, which, as far as anyone else can figure it out, is nice fucking tits. Dude, I'm sure women would love it if I asked to see their NFTs. And that I looked cute, and that my then partner is very lucky. To a certain extent, you could argue that this is reassurance, but the comments about my penis and breast are unsavory at best. This person is trying to groom you, okay? These will say, y'all can't take gawk as the highlight. I mean, looking at the first photo you sent me, nothing about that screams, these shoulders do not look like a woman's. And that has bare shoulders. Not sure how long you've been on HRT, but I mean, in my opinion, I think you already pass really well. I don't know how anyone else would look at that picture and think otherwise. Lol, you even got some NFTs in there. Who says that? I've never heard that. I don't know. I don't use that kind of, like, you know, women like it when you, like, treat them like, you know, people. But also, this person is 17, so it's you've already lost the game, you know. What? Think I couldn't handle it? I mean, you look really cute. Like I said, your partner's very lucky. Nothing direct here, but a couple instances of being a little too concerned about being canceled in a way that seems to be foreshadowing something. Oh my god. You forgot the gay. If I made that joke, my platform's big enough to get canceled for queer baiting or whatever, or do I have to get 1 million subscribers first? I mean, that is definitely just a joke, but, you know, I guess we could say it's dramatic irony. I don't know. Oh no, don't compliment me anything but that. Ha ha ha. I feed off of compliments lately, honestly. It makes me feel very confident in myself. But it's okay. I'll use my powers responsibly. I think it should be clear that I am a villain and I will use my powers for evil. Yeah, not this kind of evil. I'm gonna do cool crimes like tax theft. I'm gonna join the IRS, guys. I couldn't think of anything offhand. Additionally, very clear early on that they are willing to objectify their friends and fans, so far as to say they revel in their simps. I mean, they're kind of okay, Alistair. Okay, let's not Hazbin Hotelify me, okay? Let's not Vimsy pop me. No, you're turning me into a devil-themed twink. Ah. I mean, I definitely look, I've met and seen some of my fans. Some of you are pretty fine. I'm not gonna lie. I would fall for your charms, okay, if it happened, okay? Why would I deny it? You're actually Latina Alistair right now. Why am I Latina? Why would I deny it? I'm fucking hot. Yeah, for your feminine wiles. So true. Why do you think I have so many simps? Charisma? Sure. Not that I mind having simps, of course. I mean, I sort of revel in it at this point. I'm sorry. If I feel like one of the perks of being a celebrity is the fans, right? I mean, it's a double-edged sword when you think about it. But I'm tired of people saying that we need to be like responsible as if like, I mean, for my audience, you guys are like old ass. Sorry. No. You guys are finally aged people. I'm not winning any favors today with the chat, honestly. I stalked you into your store and hit you with a baseball bat. On June 26, 2022, during SGDQ, which we were both attending, they sent a suggestive image of them shirtless. To the best of my ability to discern from the context, this was while they were sitting on a bed next to each other in the same room IRL, but regardless of the content, weird thing to send to a 17-year-old. Image not attached for privacy reasons. And for your sake of reading this, there was also no context to this being sent. It was in the middle of a series of messages that we were just spamming funny Discord stickers at each other. As I approached 18 years old, they started complimenting me and calling me cute more and more. The worst of this was on Snapchat, which fortunately can't supply more than this. I had in my camera roll because I don't have Snapchat anymore. But these are all as I was approaching 18 years old at the end of November. Which, by the way, you can... Diesel, don't encourage them. Yeah, but, like, you know, I need an army, you know? Little Guys Incorporated can't fight the war without end, without soldiers, you know? Cute. Thank you. Good morning, cutie. You look great. You look so good. Oh my lord. Sheesh. Thank you. Cute. After I turned 18, their demeanor towards me immediately changed to be significantly more overtly flirtatious. Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry, but they talked about your penis when you were a 17-year-old. Okay, a minor. I hope you're doing well. I am. I'm glad. You deserve it. Cutie. Ah, so adorable. I want a head pat. Hey, good boy. Dude, this is bottom to bottom communication. Oh my god. There we go. I'm making the new goal now. Dude, it is not. Why are you not working? There we go. It took a while. It took a while. Additionally, within the same conversation, they accepted my advancement to talking about kissing platonically. All right, I look. Okay, I don't know what Zoomers are doing, guys, but we need a. I don't think that you can kiss someone platonically. I feel like you can't do that. I feel like you can't kiss platonically. But more importantly, this was the first time we talked about Star Smiley's, their then partners' boundaries about flirting with and being sexual with other people. They were, for several years, in a monogamous relationship in which they stated that Star said she was okay with them to engage with these relations with other people. But she later clarified they never communicated properly about this. So, I don't think that this would be what you'd call a monogamous relationship, but okay. Next time I see you, I want to give you a huge hug. That would be nice. And I don't know what you're comfy with, but you've mentioned the platonic kissing, I think. I did mention that. Hi, I love platonic kissing. As your open spokesman, Diesel, we should try kissing platonically for science. Parentheses. No, this is weird again. Just focus on them ramping up the flirting after turning 18, not this gay shit. Diesel, we should kiss platonically. We need to test out if you can truly kiss the homies goodnight. I need to kiss you one time with your panties on, and one without them on, and one with your pussy out. I like that meme. I think it's funny, okay? Alistair platonically kisses. I knew the second I said the panties thing, somebody was gonna latch onto that, dude. What the fuck? Good to know. But I'm down for a lot more platonically than most people are. Take that as you will. Guys, what if we had gay sex I mean, this wouldn't be gay sex, but like, what if we had gay sex platonically? I'm only recently exploring platonic affection. So just you know what? Welcome back, ancient Greece, because this is just fucking people and they're just saying you're homies. That's so valid. I also want to make sure I'm respecting both you and Star's boundaries. I take it she's okay with you doing these things. Yep. Good. That feels like it should have been a given, but you'd be surprised how many people don't take that into consideration. Lol, yeah, no, I asked her about it, of course. Wait a second. These answers are very telling that Shay is giving, okay? This person, the way that Shay words this makes it sound like it could be anything. Shay doesn't give enough context, okay? It's not like I talked to my partner about this. It's like I had a conversation with my partner. They said it was okay. So that tracks, right? They're trying to make it sound like it's something it isn't, but they're not doing that. That feels like it should be a given, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know I asked her about it, of course. Good. It honestly astounds me how often people just like easily violate things that should be respected at the most basic level of relationships. Well, it's okay because this isn't like a romantic affair that you guys are having. This is a platonic affair, which is like a totally different thing. Screenshots dated November 18, 2025. I mentioned it a bit in Discord, but while I gave general permission to do stuff with others, they never told me who they were doing it with or when. I guess you two had something going on based on the bits and pieces. But then that's exactly the stipulation that you gave as a partner. Whatever. Okay. Look, we're not focusing on the grooming thing here. We're focusing on them being a bad partner thing. And, you know, I'm not the lawyer, but like I would argue against this line of inquiry in the court. Okay. The court of public opinion does not care if they were a bad partner or not. All right. The court of public opinion cares on whether or not they like small children. There are numerous flirtatious conversations like above from shortly after I turned 18 that I'll skip over for brevity. I actually don't want brevity. I mean, I think we're in here for a long time, not a short time. I'll note here that starting late 2023 until around October of 2025, they only reached out and engaged in conversation with me when they were horny. How do you know that? You got a dick radar or something? Every other conversation is dry at best, or in some cases just didn't even get a reply. I don't know about that. This isn't a pattern that I noticed until the SGDQ in 2025 that I'll cover later, but it's worth noting. On one occasion, while we were talking, they told me to come lay on their lap, and given my exhaustion at the time, I said I would probably fall asleep. They made a comment about hoping I don't do anything silly while I slept. I can't think of any way to read this other than a threat. Come here and lay on my lap for a while, tilde. The meow emoji. Please, I'm gonna fall asleep on you probably, just a heads up. That's okay. I hope you don't do anything silly while you're asleep. What does that even mean? What? I don't know how you can read these platonic love affair text messages in a way that is threatening. I just bought some tea and hot cocoa. Got tea for my husband to try. I will be sending stuff out soon. I think we just shipped a bunch of stuff, so I'll be doing it again. Later in the same conversation, I established that I was feeling sex repulsed, and that's why I was deflecting their advances, and again expressed worry for Star's boundaries, to which they reassured me it was okay. I know, did they want them to like piss themselves or something? Dude, oh, I hope you don't do anything silly while you sleep. Meanwhile, Shay is like gently lifting their hand up into a warm bowl of water while they're sleeping. That's gay. Hi. Sorry, I'm like vaguely ace leading at the moment. This stream is gonna turn very non-woke very fast, I gotta be honest. We're gonna get really basted here really quickly. I'm very ace leaning at the moment, and also don't know where your boundaries are. So I'm being silly instead of engaging. I'm gonna fucking explode, actually. I'm gonna put a stick of dynamite inside my fucking sandwich and eat it. Haha, that's fine. You're a close friend, so I'd be okay with that stuff from you. But yeah, I mean, if you're ace leading, then whatever you're comfy with, friend, I appreciate you being considerate. This is the most non... Do people like cheat and have Riz? Because this is like negative Riz, if this is what we want to call it. I know sexuality is fluid, but if this were me, I'd be like not in the mood. Not my sexuality is null and void until further notice. I feel like this is like a byproduct of like therapy speak. I just don't really know what that stuff you're comfy with and where your boundaries are, especially with Star. I'm not trying to get in the way of a happy relationship. Oh, haha, she's okay with me being sexual with friends, don't worry. I was very clear how important communication about these things for me was. We'd never talk about anything past like cuddling and stuff. This communication is very important. So true. When I expressed discomfort that they were posting suggestive nude images untagged on their private Twitter account, they responded worried about the reach of their posts, again on a private account, rather than suggesting that they remove me from their circle. I was clear that I use my private Twitter account to follow my friends' accounts, that seeing sexual things was by far the outlier, and they still pushed that I should just be removed, or I should make a separate account for that, to which I did, despite not really wanting to do that given my asexuality. Little bro gotta censor your Twitter posts. I am in class. Why are you checking your private Twitter in class? Censoring posts kills engagement. I don't like doing it. It's a private Twitter account.
Baba Booey.
Young stupid internet ace people try not to flirt and say thirsty stuff to their friends all the time under the excuse that they're ace challenge impossible.
Yeah, I think we gotta work on the marketing for that one, but I do pick up what you're putting down. I do concur with your assessment there, Axis. You know, we gotta workshop that a little bit. But I think you're onto something there. You know, I think Little Guys Incorporated could find something, find a way that make that fit within our corporate mold. Little Broga said, I am in class. Fair enough. I was gonna reply one of my posts earlier. I feel like I said before, it's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. That's fair. Like, if you don't want to follow that, I can remove you from the circle. But like, it's something you willingly asked for on that account. I feel like it's strange to complain about it. Checking something you know is suggestive as hell in a public space. I mean, they're kind of correct. I mean, it's also just the account that I use to see my friends post. Those posts are like by far the outlier. And sometimes I just want to see my friends post without getting nudes jump scares. Okay, then you want to follow on that account or not then? I mean, that account is also just regular posts, does it not? And like, I do want to see those posts. I'd rather just choose before seeing the images. I don't know. I mean, a circle, silly. There's no regular posts in there. All the regular posts are just regular posts. I mean, yeah, it's just a problem of like, I want to see the posts, but also like, do you have a different account you want to use them? No, I don't have another account. I have my main and my priv. And another account that I never open. Don't you literally follow porn accounts on your priv? No, Lamau. I swear, I remember you showing me your timeline was full of that stuff. Maybe I'm misremembering. Sometimes my main gets bad because I follow a lot of artists, and it's, you know, sometimes artists get silly. I'm gonna get silly. I'm gonna crash out. Holy shit. What the fuck? I apologize, but I sent you one of the weirdest allegations from the doc because I know you won't get there. I think Shay is the first person in the world to have a dominant pronouns fetish. Isn't life so much easier when I chose your pronouns and gender? Whoa. Your pronouns are mine. Go ahead and change your pronouns too. After all, it's better if I'm in control of that, right? What are you waiting for? Change your pronouns, then get on the bed so I can use you. Dude, this is what they're afraid. This is what they think the woke left is gonna give me pronouns and a they them boyfriend who's gonna fuck me in the pot. Like what? Woke Nick Fuentes chooses your pronouns. ASMR. What the fuck? That is so funny. Dude, pink pilling is alive and well on discord.com, dude. Oh my god. Sometimes my man gets back blah blah blah. Either way, it kills engagement, so I'm not putting a spoiler tag on it. It's a private account, but you don't want to kill engagement? I don't understand. That's fair, I guess. I don't really see how that would affect engagement. Or why engagement is such a big deal, but I guess I have a different perspective. Like, the people who follow you are going to see regardless. Because I want people to see them. I mean, it's the whole reason it's there, Lamau. They also proceeded to say I was being condescending for this concern, citing their experience with content creation as if that excuses it. I don't look, man. Why are we nickel and diming this? This is their account, all right? If they want to post fucking nude pictures of their butthole, let them post it. Then you can why do they have to change what they post for you? Okay, like the grooming aside for a minute, okay? Because you're an adult now when they're talking to you, right? But like, brother. It's like you made the For You feed, bro. Okay? You looked at the images. All right? And now you're complaining that you stared at them, bro? Like, that's your fault, not theirs. In the year 2049, you can't leave your house without your pronouns pin. Okay, if this is how the conversation is to go, I really don't want to have it. I'm already kind of annoyed, and this is just making it worse. So good luck in the rest of your class. Not like you need to worry about it anyway. Circle is dead in like a week anyway. Sorry, I wanted you to understand your perspective. No, you did not want to understand the perspective, okay? I don't want to be doing Dark Horse right now and arguing for the defense of this groomer. All right? But like, brother, you are like, if there was ever a bad victim, it's you. It's just annoyingly condescending. Like, I do content creation and social media stuff for a living. Okay, but you're an Undertale creator, all right? To defend them on their side, all right?
I covered this with Falgi. The account is private for audience curation reasons. They still have a massive followers they want to see. They're kinda common among NSFW Twitter accounts.
Okay. But yeah, it's just like I don't understand. I like just fucking aside from them being cringe, like just leave it alone. Just leave. In this conversation, they were making more advances than I was comfortable with, and I had tried diverting the conversation and diffusing it, but they kept pushing their sexual fantasies on me in a moment. A decent portion of our conversations during this time, 2023 to 2025, were somewhat similar to this. With them eventually giving in, with me eventually giving in to their pressure, I will not continue posting more screenshots of the conversations. Yeah, but I have a couple thousand messages over the conversations. Fair. I wasn't sure if she was coming. Cute. If we want, I can cuddle for a while at some point. Comfy bed, 100%. Cuddles after this? Yeah. Use your words. I want to cuddle. Anything else? Mainly cuddles. That implies something else silly. This is like... This is the most bottom-coded top I've ever seen. This is like... I'm more offended that this person is like so disgustingly saccharine. Okay? We've gone so past the whole like grooming allegations situation here that I'm just like dealing with their mentally ill BDSM comfy core shit, okay? Instead of dealing with any of the particularities of the alleged crimes that they committed, all right? I'm sitting here litigating the cuddling allegations. In 2024, they were interested in hanging out with me, with many DMs like the one below wanting to hang out. We cuddled while there, and a number of people in the room, including but not limited to Star being in the bed at the same time. Given the context of what happened in the same situation when I was alone with Shay the next year, I wholeheartedly believe their presence saved me from being assaulted here. What do you... Where... We haven't even gotten to the rape. Where is the rape? Where is the rape? Show me the rape. Too zesty to live. Hey, gamer, when do you get out here? I'm here. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention I got dragged to the mall right away. Ha, no worries, I'm out at the moment. Are you still out? All my friends are watching a run right now. I can't. I'm in the broadcast room. I wanted to see the PB run. Heads up, I'm in the hotel for the foreseeable future. Do you want to hang out? Yeah, when are you available? I'm in the middle of a bunch of people who hate planning. If you want to just hang out, I'm in room 2203. We did the same later that day. I similarly suspect the constant presence of other people in the room was the only thing saving me. Okay, so now you're saying if there wasn't anybody present, I would have been raped. And it's like, look, you weren't raped though. Why are you talking about it like you were on the cusp of rape? Okay? I can't imagine a stinkier place than games done quick. Yeah. Dude, my light went out. Dude, I'm in a dark place. There we go. Never mind. I'm no longer in a dark place. You busy? Not at all. Is that an invitation? Yep. I'll head up then. Oh my god. This is that games done quick. Dude, these gamers are having stinky cuddle sessions like you couldn't imagine, dude. Foreshadowing a similar way they treated me at the next Games Done Quick. They did not talk to me or respond to any of my DMs that were not related to me coming and hanging out with them in person. In this conversation, I explicitly told them I wasn't horny, and they still tried to make an advancement. You're so gay. Sorry, I'm just kind of not in a horny mood right now. Damn. I can fix that crossed out what? And then a bonk. And for the main event, Games Done Quick 2025, they seemed excited to see me in anticipation. I was excited to see them. They continued to try to get me to come and hang out. All I was unaware would be one-on-one. I assumed that friends and at least Star would be around in their room. What I did not know at the time is that they did this purely with the intent of having sex with me. I gotta be, okay, Gawk Done Quick. Dude, speed running, giving head. I want to be sympathetic because, yeah, this is weird and gross, But at the same time, Jesus fucking Christ, can someone other than the aggressive, can something other than aggressive internet cuddling happen here, please? Well, it's like, there's like a lot of things, right? So it's like, obviously, like, okay, if this person is a shitter, I am sympathetic. Do you think the reintroduction of third spaces will lessen the amount of child grooming and child predation? I don't know. I think jury's out on that one. But like in terms of like greatly reduce, I mean, perhaps, I don't know. The one thing that is very frustrating with this is that, like, this is the third time I've read a Google document where somebody's like, hey, do you want to come hang out in my hotel room? Now, guys, if you're a resident sex haver, if someone offers you to come to their hotel room, what are they offering? Okay, someone that you have flirtatious conversation with is offering that you come up to their room. What are they offering you? What is the arrangement of which they are prescribing in that moment? Because I know what that arrangement means. I just want to make sure that I'm not some crazy person who imagines that as something else. You think the game's done quick? Knitting girl was in the cuck chair? Dude, she was knitting up a mean sweater back there. Obviously, they were offering to play old school Mario Kart. They're offering me expensive fridge nuts. I mean, depending on the person, they might be offering you girl nuts, you know? You never know. My back. A friendly game of cards. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, you're playing a friendly game of gin rummy or whatever. Oh my god. GDQ today, excited to see you. I'm here. Let me know if you're free to say hi. I'm in the lobby for now. I just woke up. I'm in 121123. Good morning, cutie. I think I'm leaving soon for breakfast, but I'll catch you in a bit. I'm actually free right now. I could head up. I just helped Cherry bring stuff to his room. Or down, actually. Never mind, I lied. I got to go. I'll catch you later. I'm back now. Come up. Okay, I need to steal a card from someone. Are you gonna read all 500 pages? No. What is this? I can't do that. I got things to do. Diesel, you don't understand. It's just patty cake. I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit. When I went up to their room, under the pretense of hanging out, they sexually assaulted me. They made advancements and pushed me to do things I was not comfortable with, but I did not feel safe saying no given the context, the power they had over me, the fact that I was alone with them. At the time, I was vulnerable given unrelated things in my personal life, and it led me to not realize what had happened until I looked back on it a few days later. For the rest of the event, they had barely responded to me. I sent around a dozen messages. They gave one single 3 face and LOL, ignoring almost everything I said to them, all while acting like nothing happened. So what happened after? Next time they messaged me was to bring up what happened in person again, while I tried to deflect that they were insistent. The other day, I was thinking about what we did at Games Done Quick. That was nice. Okay.
When I was at an anime con, a group came over to my group's hotel room to argue about the ending to Inuyasha.
Well, okay, that's like one thing, okay? Because that's a group-on-group activity. But also, in the same breath, there were groups getting together to have orgies at the anime convention, too. Like, that happened. Also, I never got this ping. I didn't figure it out eventually. I'm doing all right. I finished college and I'm chilling a bit before I go to England. Ooh. I hope this was fun for you, by the way. Also, congrats on finishing college. That was huge. This person, this Shay person is just like, oh man, that mediocre sexual assault I had with you was really, really good. Don't you agree? Thanks, big weight off. Maybe SA did happen. I'm inclined to believe it did, based solely on the weirdness of the situation. But then in the same breath, again, I don't really understand what this person. I don't know. Do people just not understand what somebody offering a hotel room excursion is? I don't like. That's clearly an invitation for sex. Like, it just clearly is. So is this a super mega situation? I don't think so. I think they might be groomer. If you're the Toriel cosplayer who gave me a blowjob at Dragon Con, please inbox me. I think you took my wallet. It looks like an NES. Yeah, I can't believe it. This situation really did happen. They were calling for groom service. Calling for groom service. Dude, that's what Jeffrey Epstein was calling for when you think about it, dude. I was incredibly uncomfortable around them at the time, and I left it as saying I wasn't interested and that I was feeling sex repulsed. I was in a particularly deep sex repulsion about that was caused by games done quick. Are you not responding to this for a reason, or oh my god, this person is so fucking goon happy? Like, yeah, I'm not interested. Sorry. What do you mean by that? Or just like in general, or right now? A little bit of both. I'm not interested right now. I'm sorry. I've been very sex repulsed recently. Yeah, I mean, it's not always an invitation to sex, but I sure as heck know someone well enough to have a good idea what was the intent before going to the room. Yeah, exactly. Philosopher, you have a good point. They tried prompting me about AGDQ. You gonna be at AGDQ? I really like cuddling with you. It was so nice. Nope, I can't afford it. Oh. Again, this time, we started having actual conversations occasionally, which you can only expect was because around this time, people were starting to come out privately with some stories about Shay that they were aware of. Eventually, I reached out about my experience with them after I had already shared part of my story with relevant people. I hoped at the time that this was them genuinely making an effort to make good on their mistakes and be better friends, not that I was simply blah, blah, blah. How old was the person invited to the room? Like 18, and then the sexual assaulter was like 22, 23. Like, I'd probably say like 22. But then also they were talking to this person when they were 17. But yeah, but they weren't 17 by the time the sexual assault happened, right? So they say they were groomed at 17, and then they were sexually assaulted at 18. So, like, we had already moved forward in the time period from that, right? And the mid-20s is the age that they are now, apparently, or something. I don't know. They're not really clear on the timeline in this, which is also part of the problem. So, perhaps it is like a mid-20 something. That is very possible. But we spent a majority of this document talking about cuddling and unwashed dishes, so... You know, we're not really getting anywhere. Sorry I've been awkward and not responding. I've been struggling a lot with things and I haven't known how to handle it. To put it bluntly, after reflecting ever since GDQ, I felt incredibly hurt and used by you over the past couple of years. I began feeling this way at GDQ, but upon reading back through our DMs, it was very clear you only ever wanted to talk to me, and more than a couple of very dry messages when you wanted to use me for sex. Reflecting on GDQ this year, and last made it clearer. You talked to me when you wanted to cuddle or have sex, but ghosted me the rest of the time. It made me feel terrible about myself, about the fact that I've considered you a friend for years, just for our interactions to boil down to this trend of you only caring to message me when you're horny. I don't think it would be accurate to call our relationship with the past couple of years of friendship. And if our friendship is something you care about, you're going to have to learn to be a good friend. Yeah, you've definitely missed quite a lot of lore this stream. There's definitely a reason that I'm not taking this one seriously. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, thank you for being honest about this. I want to apologize and also validate what you're feeling. Because I was starting to feel the same way, and it made me feel incredibly icky. The truth of the matter is that I enjoy talking to you and hanging out with you. I never intended to ghost you or do anything of the sort. I just really struggle to keep up with the amount of social things happening at an event like that. I do care about our friendship. I promise that I do. I want to prove that I do. I want to just talk more about stuff, hang out more in general. But I'm sorry for how I made you feel. I've been feeling that way from several others as well. Feeling used. And I think that can be a dangerous outcome of having sexual interactions in a friendship like that. The bottom line is I care about you and I want to hang out more and promise that I will do things better for you than blah, blah, blah. I'm really sorry for this. I promise it has everything to do with me having a low social battery in general. It's not against you personally and nothing about how I view you. I just completely shut down and forgot how to respond to things when social battery is low. Oh my god. Diesel, looks like you're suffering, bud. Well, like, you try. Look, the reason, like, okay. Mental anguish is different from me reading a thing for a long time and getting tired from it. It's not even like this one is particularly bad. I feel like, so you know when you've like done it, when you've done this dance before, you know what I mean? It's not interesting because we've done this all before. You know what I mean? Like I've read this before. This is like when they did the I'm Blue Da Bu Dee Ba Doo Da song again, but like it was BB Rexa for some reason and nobody liked that version. And the Crazy Frog version was infinitely better, you know? This is like that. This is like the remake of the Blue song. I do care. Can we try again? I want to know how your UK trip has been going. You're still there, right? In a month or so followed a few conversations. It felt like the first time in years of even them reaching out on my private Twitter during a breakdown. Hope you're feeling better. Please don't do anything bad to yourself. But in the same few days, like, I feel like okay, if I am going to critique this honestly and genuinely, the structure of this document has been pretty bad, right? Like I can't even begin to have a discussion about like any particular grooming things because the way that they've gone about explaining them is like needlessly convoluted and then also doesn't make any sense. So I end up sitting here going, I'm not entirely sure what age everybody is at any given moment or when big events happen, right? And it's like, okay, 17 to 18, it's like, all right, well, what the fuck is the answer to that? What the fuck is the age of the person doing this? Okay, well, I guess even addressing or beginning to discuss the grooming thing is out the window. So did they rape? Well, I don't know. You see, they spent a long time talking about how they didn't want to have sex, but that they were good cuddling and that they enjoyed cuddling and hanging out to each other and being romantic to each other and kissing platonically and cuddling platonically and holding each other platonically, but only, you know, maybe sometimes thinking about the idea of having sex platonically, but just like platonic sex, not like romantic sex. And it's just like, okay, well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to take away from this, okay? Because we're spending all this time talking about terms that are completely incomprehensible to me, okay? Because the average, and I'm sorry, I hate to say this, the average neurotypical person does not talk about having fucking flings and having casual sex in the same way that they talk about hugging their friends, okay? Those are not equatable situations of which this is happening in this situation. So I don't even understand the vocabulary that's being discussed here, okay? And I'm one of the woke ones. It feels like you automatically, you need to automatically know the people involved and their ages in order to know what's going on, which is bad. Yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to know everybody already. Okay, and I'm supposed to be mad about like somebody buying a Corvette when they're breaded, or like I'm supposed to be mad about them not washing dishes, and it's just like, what the like, who cares? Again, is this person asexual? So they say they're asexual leaning, but not all the time and only sometimes, and that when they participate or when they say that they're asexual, then they don't want to proceed. But when they don't say that, they do want to proceed, and sometimes they do proceed despite saying they're asexual. Like if you go back, because I know you just got here, right? They spend a lot of time also saying how they enjoyed all the platonic romantic affection. Okay, that's the best way I could describe it. But Diesel, you don't understand. Zoomers all have hypersexuality while also being asexual. Okay, well, I'm gonna have hyperventilation while also having a hernia, okay? I'm glad I have autism where I hate people touching me. People who do friend cuddling get weird. I can't even begin to broach that as like a topic. Oh my god. Unironic birdie vibes. Well, you know, you got to be careful around Shay because they'll steal your pronouns, and then give you new ones. They're like a, they're like a, they're like a Gestapo for pronouns. they'll make you wear your pronouns like they made the Jews wear the star on their clothes. The Gestapo. The Gestapo. The they police. This is the they them they warned us about, dude. Oh my god. Shay, if you're reading this, I sure hope you are. You repeatedly pushed me to my limits, and you broke me down to nothing while I trusted you and forgave you over and over and time again. You took my endless kindness and used it to take advantage of me and my friends. You and your actions are deplorable, and I hope you never show your face around here ever again, because you will never be welcome back. Okay, alright. Well, now we can move on to a Nanumus 1. Click the subtabs for this tab. Anonymous 1. This one has a table of contents. What actually happened between Anonymous and Shay? How has this affected me? Okay, so where did this start? Why was I afraid to speak up about Shay? Let's go to written statement. Fuck my ass and call me Susan B. Anthony. What the fuck? The length of this? Oh my god. All right. I'm gonna hold on. Hold on. I got something for this. Phoenix Wright. Two very serious accusations, yes. I worry for more. But damn, they did such a bad job at this doc. It's a comic relief. Yes. All right. I need like a version of the goblin that's dressed as a lawyer and he's like, you know, to the piece of paper. All right. I think I'm gonna preemptively issue a ruling on this. All right. The court of public opinion finds Shay Carl. Finds Shay Carl. Boom. I already have Mishi working on the rebrand stuff. The court of public opinion calls this court to an order. Chat, can everybody please sit down as I issue this ruling? All of you get in your seats. I want to see guys sitting down emojis right now. Right this instant. Sit your ass down. That's right, Len. I see you standing. I didn't actually know that there was a sitting emoji. KJ putting it in a wheelchair is crazy. We got somebody taking a knee too. All right. Order in the court. Boom, 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 boom. The Honorable Judge IRL presiding. I know I wouldn't announce myself, but I'm announcing myself in this instance because the court officer is out on sick leave right now. Yes. Dude, everybody's taking a knee. Now, we've come here today to issue a charge for the YouTuber, Shay. Hold on, I need to find their channel. They're irrelevant. On counts of grooming, we find you guilty in the court of public opinion. We issue you a one-way ticket to Epstein's Island. Diesel's like Vox Populi, the people's voice. Booze all over the court. Yes. Calm down, folks. We understand that you don't like this person, but they will be going to Epstein's Island and they will never leave. Diesel, you are cute. I am Vox Populi, the people's choice, you know? The people's voice, excuse me. On all accounts of being incredibly cringe and stealing pronouns from minors, the court of public opinion finds you guilty. Boom. We issue you a summary judgment and say that you will be sent to the pronoun mines to mine pronouns on Epstein's Island for the woke liberals for the next 10 years. On the account of rape and sexual assault at Games Done Quick, a sexless place. We find you kind of guilty, but we don't really know because we weren't there. So we issue you a lighter sentence. We will take your Sans Undertale Funko Pop and donate it to a Charlie Kirk-themed charity. Can you sing a Shay Redemption song like a musical Mr. Latina Vox Populi? How will this affect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's legacy? On accounts of you aggressively cuddling people who don't want to be aggressively cuddled, we find you guilty and sentence you to 5 years of being the big spoon of John Cheese Grater. I bet you're wondering what his problem is. Well, he's a cheese grater. Get ready. Zoran Momdami is certifying the documents as we speak. All right. Officer, see this canceled YouTuber out of here. Man, Shay would never survive the tower, dude. He would be taken out back. All right. This court finds Shay to be really cringe. Diesel is infrapopuli, which roughly translates to the people's bottom. I don't want to be the people's bottom. I don't want to be the people's bottom. I think it's really funny if you guys call me the TV head guy. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I refuse to be the people's bottom. Why does the judge speak like Nosferatu? What if we got Dan's burst to defend Shay in court? Well, maybe we'll do a double jeopardy, but I'm fucking the court is adjourned. Chat. Court is adjourned. Boom. Stupid stream. What a stupid stream.